I just got some mail and I got my new fresh printed books from A Gentle Feast. We are doing A Gentle Feast Cycle 3 this year and I got my books. Would you like to see inside? I'm so excited to show you. Welcome. I have been getting a lot of questions about A Gentle Feast lately since I announced that I will be using this for our core curriculum for my family this year. And a lot of you have been asking about it. You just want to know what it's about and what it looks like. And guys, I've been looking at it and it's beautiful. I can't wait to show you. So today in this video, we are going to talk about quickly what A Gentle Feast is. Then we'll take a peek inside the teacher's manual, the morning time guide, and the language arts books. And I do have a handwriting book too. We'll take a peek inside those. And then I'm gonna tell you finally why I love A Gentle Feast and why I picked it. So first off, if you're new to my channel or new to hearing about A Gentle Feast considers itself a Charlotte Mason inspired curriculum. It was created by Julie Ross several years ago, and she's a former teacher. And then she decided to leave the public school area and start teaching her own kids. And as she was teaching and learning about Charlotte Mason, she was trying to piece everything together. She's piecing from this curriculum and making up her own things, which is so funny because I have a very similar story to this. So I'm thankful to have found her because I feel like I have a lot in common with how she thinks and how she has created this curriculum. So she was still doing a lot. She was doing a lot of workbooks and just felt like they were just doing so much and they were missing part of the Charlotte Mason philosophy. So when she finally read Charlotte Mason's volumes, she felt like a whole new world was opened up to her. A whole new world. So A Gentle Feast was born and we had a beautiful Charlotte Mason inspired baby. So basically the basis for this curriculum is living books. Plus there's plans that go along with it, but they're very adaptable plans. I'll talk to you more about that later in the video. I really feel like A Gentle Feast is a practical resource for Charlotte Mason's principles. So there you go, that's just the basics. There's a whole lot more you can learn now, but let's peek inside and see what this curriculum looks like. Okay friends, these are the books that I purchased to be printed and they were delivered to my door and I'm so excited to peek inside some of these. So this is so beautiful. The pages they're like smooth and crisp and they're just so pretty. Look at that. So just a quick thing here with forms. This is how A Gentle Feast breaks up into forms. These are the grades from the US where you would normally put your kids in public school. And this is what she recommends where you would put your kids in which form you would put. So they don't do grades, they do forms and they block groups of kids together in these forms. This is the traditional Charlotte Mason form level there. So I'll get to in a second, but I am doing my 8-year-old in form 1 and my 10-year-old in form 2 and my 6-year-old will kind of be form 1 but not an official one, but semi form 1. So this is the teacher's manual. And she has a wonderful explanation of how to use her curriculum here and just sample schedules and blocks. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, and then we get to the lesson plans. One thing I liked here was that she added these. I did not know were in here. So there's a spot for habit training notes and field trip ideas and attendance sheet. Materials you're going to need, books you're going to need. I've been doing all of this already like digitally, but it might be kind of fun to write it here in my planning teacher's book. And then we start with term 1. So you have a memory verse for everybody. You have your memory verse that you'll do all together and you'll do this over the whole entire term, breaking it up into little parts. And then she puts every block, like every section, into these grids here. And it's basically a checklist for you. So we've got the morning time block here, which I do have the entire morning time plans there. But with the morning time block, the language arts block, and then the great thing about this curriculum is it's really good for the entire family to use with multiple ages. So I do only have 3 kiddos, and so I only need form 1 and form 2 this year. But if you have older kids, you can throw your older kids into forms 3 and 4. And they have a student packet for language arts, and then you just check it off as you go. Grammar and composition. And it's different for each level. It gets a little bit harder as they go, obviously. And then here's a spread for a week 1 spread. And she doesn't have it broken up by days. She has it categorized by forms. So you can look at, if you have 6 kids and you have so many kids in different forms, you can look and see what all of them are doing right here. It's so cool. I'll talk more in a different video about what I use for my kids for planning individually for their planners, but you can look out for that video coming soon. All right, so it has the books that you read and it has the chapter you read, and once you read it, you check it off, and this is for the entire week. So as you can see here, so this would be like Monday, this would be Tuesday, this would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's basically how you kind of would break it up there. And this would just be that subject. So each kid would do one thing from here, and then they would do the next thing in here in geography, and then they do the next thing here in their literature. Ooh, Pollyanna. I forgot we're going to read that one. Yay, so exciting. And then your younger elementary has your phonics. You do a phonics lesson. A Gentle Feast does have phonics lessons called 100 Gentle Lessons, or if you have another phonics program of your choice, that's what you would do for your 1st and 2nd graders. And then for 3rd grade, they do have readers to read. So I'll be doing all about reading with my 1st grader, and then my 3rd grader will read Writing the Pony Express, and then my 10-year-old will read Pollyanna. And then science, oh, this is different. I forgot, they don't do official science with Form 1. So once your Form 1s do all these, you'll read them to them, or they can read on their own, then they're done. They're done with school, and that's it, basically. Or kind of, they can join in on these extra things if you like, but they're not required for sure. So then for science, they have books they read there, and that's it. So then we have like the loop subjects, electives right here. So again, you've got a checklist for each level. And then citizenship. Foreign language is an option. So she has those available on the website on your membership where you would look for that. There's Latin options. And then math, just a spot to check it off. So nothing fancy there because you pick your own math, but she looks like she does give a suggestion there. There's singing, which I'm gonna do solfa. I'm pretty excited for that. Foreign language song, that sounds really cool. And then drawing and art can be done during your read aloud time. So that's what it says here, during tea time. So then you go to tea time, and this would be like after lunch, just a quick, 45 minutes or an hour or 30 minutes, whatever your family can do. And she gives you 2 options, because if you come back to this cycle a different time, then you would do the other option. So this year we're gonna do the Princess and the Goblin. See, and that's considered a read aloud for both forms 1 and 2. And then the next time we come back to cycle 3, we would do option number 2. So all forms, so she does have this broken up into 5 days there. Then you have wins for the week, a place to write down your wins, prep for next week there, which I thought was cool. And then it goes into week 2 right here. So you can see that week 2. So after that, one thing I noticed that I thought was really, really cool. There we go. Okay. This is so cool. This is an exam week. So in between the end of the term is a great time to celebrate a term well done. For her exams, Miss Mason would list several tasks that were to be done with father, have father pick a poem for recitation. So you're doing this with their dad, basically. I don't know why it says father here, but we call him dad. I don't know if maybe you call your father, your husband, your kids call him father, but we call him daddy here in our house. So then they show everything an example of what they did, and they recite their poems to their dad, or grandparents would be a great time to do that as well. And then they have just a suggestion for how to do that. So I am super excited. These are always fun to do. And then the other thing I found out that I didn't know was there was your teacher's self-assessment form. So you get to look at the term, you write down what you thought went well, what you could improve next time, your goals for yourself, personal habits, and favorite memory. I thought this was really, really cool. So there you have it. There's an example of the teacher's manual. All right. Okay, so this video isn't too long. We're just going to take a quick peek at the morning time guide. So here we have plans again. And it looks like a lot, but it's, again, it includes Bible. It includes your loop, which you don't do. A loop means you don't do everything every day. So on day one, you'll do the hymn, then you'll do the poetry, and then it includes poetry for all levels right here. And you would just focus on which levels you have. And then there's picture, composer, poet, tables, fables and tales for each form. So again, you're not doing all of this in morning time. You're just doing what you need. And then for some of the older kids, they're reading it on their own. It's not you reading to them if you have older kids. But there is lots of options for Bible, which again, you can pick and choose. If that's too much, you can definitely slow down. But if you've got a kid who just needs this much, then great. But I love that. So then we have the hymn options, and then there's the poems for each level with some really pretty pictures. I remember Kubla Khan from college. Yeah, that was fun. And then the picture study. And that's all the artists. That was the entire term one. So there you go. That's what you get for your morning time binder. Next is language arts. And I was pretty fascinated by this, but I got Form 1 and Form 2, and they're pretty much the same. Form 2 has just more difficult more difficult copy work. So in your first term, you get your copy work, and then they're going to be copying something that comes from a book that you're reading currently. So this one happens to be Princess and the Goblin. So they're going to copy it over the entire week. It's not just in one day, it's the entire week. Then they get words to study. They get spelling words here. And this place to practice the spelling. And she talks about all this in the front on how you do spelling. Here's a composition writing prompt. And you can do as little you can require as little or as much as you want. If you have a child who only can do one sentence, or maybe you have a child who will write 6 sentences, you have a space there for them to write on their own. If you have younger kiddos, it'd be really great to dictate it. So they would tell you and you would write it down, and then they would copy, or not dictate, copy. So they would tell you what they want to say, you write it on another piece of paper, and then they copy it here in the book. So they're not writing it from straight onto this paper if they're not ready for that yet. That's a great idea to do that. Some drawing, draw a picture of the princess. So these all have to do with what they're reading that week. And then there's a grammar focus. So I love that. So each day in your language arts book follows the same format. Copy work, words to study, spelling, composition, then drawing, grammar is included, really simple, short grammar lesson, and then day 5 is dictation. In this level, they don't have to rewrite the whole copy work. They're going to just write portions of the copy work. And if they don't remember what it is, they can look back at it, that's fine. But the goal is for you to read it to them, and then they write it straight in here from you reading it to them. And then they just fill in the missing words. And then it starts over again. And that's basically it. Form 2, so pretty much the same. Just it's smaller space for writing and a little bit longer passage. See, their passage is longer. And then for them, for their spelling, they would go back and look at the copy work and find words that they struggled with or don't know how to spell, and then they would add them here for their words to study for spelling for the week. That's how they do that. And then another drawing spot, another composition spot. They have a little bit more space there. And then a grammar focus, just like in level 1. Looks like it's a little bit longer. And then dictation. So for dictation, you read the copy work out loud to your kids, and then they're supposed to copy it not from memory, but you read one sentence at a time, and then they copy it. So it's to practice grammar, punctuation, capitalization, and spelling. So it's to help them practice that once they hear what you've read, and then they write it down. That's what that's for. This is very, very Charlotte Mason for sure. And then that's it. Last but not least, I got the 100 Gentle Lessons in Cursive Handwriting. My 3rd grader, it is time for him to learn cursive. So we'll see how that goes. I'm actually going to let my 6-year-old join in on cursive as well, because he's been struggling with some print things, and somebody suggested maybe he would like writing cursive first. So this is just what it looks like. This is it. All right, I really hope you enjoyed looking at the curriculum. I do want to share with you a few things why I love A Gentle Feast and what you get once you purchase a curriculum. Once you purchase curriculum from A Gentle Feast, you get so many resources. Like Julie and her team have like pulled out all the stops and just given you so much to work with, and I'm so excited to use this. So the first thing I noticed that I found out after I had purchased, I didn't know it was available until I purchased, but she gives you a link to an editable spreadsheet that has the entire plans all laid out. So it's basically what you get in the teacher's guide, but it's in spreadsheet digital form that you can make a copy of and then edit and adapt it to your family's needs. So let's say there's a book in there you don't want to read and you don't ever get to it, just take it out. Or maybe there's another book that you want to read instead of something else, then you just change it and switch it around. Or maybe you get behind, or maybe you get ahead. It's super, super adaptable, and that is so important and so exciting about this curriculum. Also in this spreadsheet, there are links to free videos on YouTube. There's free resources. There's you can find some of the books for free as well. Lots of great things. And guys, she thinks like me. Like, this is exactly how I've been doing my plans for the last like 6 years, but I don't have to do it this year. I paid her to do it for me, basically. So, but it's just exciting to find someone who thinks similarly and already has prepared something that I know will fit for my family. The other thing you get with this is the book list. Like I said, most of these are technically suggestions. You can pick from this book list or follow the guide exactly as she has it planned, but she gives you lots and lots of great books to be choosing from for each subject. Oh, and I didn't share that before. All the subjects are included. The only thing that's not included is math. That's right. So if you go with a Gentle Feast basic package or whatnot, you can have everything available except math is what you would have to purchase on your own. The other thing Julie's provides is videos on suggested schedules on how you can schedule it, videos and tools and resources just on things that she's learned and mistakes that she's made and ways that she's done it, and you can learn from her and just follow in her footsteps if you like. She's made videos that are super, super helpful. Along with that, she's also super helpful because she provides a Facebook group. So you can join a Facebook group to have other moms who are going along the cycles. You can join them and hear from them and get ideas for other things if you need any help whatsoever. So these are just some of the few things why I love A Gentle Feast and why I've decided to go with it this year. If you need to check it out, I have my link in the description below. Would love for you to check that out down there. And by the way, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Ashley. I am a homeschooling mom to 3 kiddos, and I've been homeschooling for about the past 8 years. I love to look for the joy among the chaos in life. So that's what I talk about here on my channel. And we also love to talk about Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool. I've been studying Charlotte Mason methods for the last 8-9 years and been enjoying it thoroughly. I'm not a Charlotte Mason purist, but I do know a lot and try to implement as much as I can in my homeschool. We also talk about homeschooling on a budget and affordable homeschool resources. My question for you is, have you heard about A Gentle Feast before now? Or have any of you used it? Or let me know if you have any other questions and leave those in the comments below and I will chat with you down there. And I'm so excited to just share with you our journey as we go this year while we use A Gentle Feast. I'll be sharing some day in the lives or do a lesson with me. If there's anything specific about A Gentle Feast you would like to see, let me know about those in the comments as well. And if you didn't watch it yet, you can watch my video that I did where I shared my announcement of using A Gentle Feast for our family core curriculum. I have a few other things in there as well if you want to check that out. Thanks for being here, guys. Go find His joy among the noise, and I will see you in the next video.